Listen, my first fight I ever had was over a fucking pigeon. And then my first fight, I loved fighting. I fought every day after that. I realized that I could do something with my hands. I could fight. I just fought every day. Every day. And now I became Mike Tyson from this these fucking pigeons. I don't care about championships. I've already done that. It's something else now. It's more than skill. It's unbreakable mindset. Sometimes you gotta remind them. I'm built for this.
The boxing world is about to witness something absolutely unprecedented. Two of the greatest legends in combat sports history are coming out of retirement for what's being called the biggest exhibition match ever conceived. Floyd Mayweather, the undefeated 50-0 king of boxing, is stepping back into the ring to face Mike Tyson, the most feared heavyweight champion of all time. And here's the kicker. They're both getting paid $50 million each for this spectacle. But what's really happening behind the scenes is way more complex than anyone realizes. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why this fight represents everything that's both brilliant and broken about modern boxing.
Ready, brother? Yep.
It's good to see you there, man. I killed Fabrice yesterday.
Yeah?
I killed Fabricio.
Yeah, what's he talking? That's my brother. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's in the mountain. Yeah.
With eyes closed, I can taste everywhere.
What about you? Everything's good?
Yeah, I'm sore. My body's sore, man.
Let me tell you something. Mike Tyson's return to training camp isn't just some casual comeback story. This is a 58-year-old man who recently had a medical emergency on a plane, was hospitalized for stomach issues, and had to postpone his fight with Jake Paul because his body was literally breaking down. Yet here he is, grinding through heavy bag sessions, working on his footwork, and trying to recapture the lightning that made him the youngest heavyweight champion in history. His trainers are pushing him through exercises that would challenge fighters half his age, building strength and endurance that frankly most people didn't think he had left in him. But here's what's wild. Every video of Tyson training goes viral instantly. Every clip of him throwing combinations gets millions of views. The man still got that aura, that intimidation factor that made grown men afraid to step in the ring with him 30 years ago.
Oh, Lord. Good reset, man.
Yeah.
Good reset, Mike.
Yeah. Well,
What?
oh, that's so good.
What's good?
Woo! We fight. We stay here. Beautiful, good balance. I get up. I like that. I always want to try catching down here.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather is approaching this completely differently, and it shows you exactly why he's never lost a professional fight. While Tyson's grinding through old-school heavy bag work, Floyd's in the gym with his trainer working on the precision and technique that made him untouchable for 2 decades. He's hitting pads with surgical accuracy, maintaining the defensive mastery that frustrated every elite fighter of his generation. And you know what's crazy? At 47 years old, Floyd still looks like he could step into a title fight tomorrow. His hand speed is still there, his footwork is still crisp, and that defensive genius that made him impossible to hit clean is still intact. His trainer keeps telling him, "I'm proud of you." And you can see why most fighters Floyd's age can barely throw a punch without their shoulders falling apart.
Yeah, so far. Exactly.
love that. Yeah, that's reverse. I love it.
20 seconds. And then the end. It's just like that.
You did more workouts than what I seen you than the whole time you fought Lennox Lewis. Am I right or wrong?
But here's where this gets absolutely wild. Floyd Mayweather isn't doing this exhibition because he needs to prove anything. The man's 50-0. He's made over $1 billion in his career, and his legacy is set in stone. He's doing this because, as he puts it, opponents pursue fights with me because my name alone generates billions. Think about that for a second. Floyd Mayweather has turned himself into such a massive brand that just putting his name on a poster guarantees a massive payday. Even his uncle Jeff Mayweather is pushing for this, arguing that if other retired fighters can come back and make money, Floyd should too, especially since he's still in incredible shape and hasn't destroyed his body with drugs or unhealthy habits like so many other boxing legends. And get this, Andre Ward, one of the smartest boxing analysts in the game, broke down exactly why these exhibitions make perfect sense for fighters like Floyd. He pointed out that legends like Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and Joe Louis all did exhibition tour later in their careers. It allows them to stay connected to the sport, showcase their skills, and earn massive money without the intense preparation and risk that comes with real championship fights. Floyd himself said, "I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing." And honestly, he's probably right. No other fighter can generate bigger gates, reach a larger global audience, or make more money per event than Floyd Mayweather. It's not even close. Now listen to this part, because this is where the business side gets really interesting. Floyd's not just randomly picking exhibition opponents. He's got a whole strategic partnership with CSI Sports and Fight Sports Media to create a series of these massive events. They're treating this like a traveling circus, hitting different cities around the world, each event bigger than the last. And the rumors about a potential Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao rematch, those aren't just rumors anymore. Word is they're targeting September 19th in Las Vegas at the Sphere for what would be one of the most historic rematches in boxing history. Think about that. Nearly 11 years after their first fight broke every pay-per-view record, they're going to do it again in the most technologically advanced venue ever built.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. You know, a lot of times guys do good in the gym. You know, they be happy. They feel like if you're doing good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title, Well, you got to really look at this now. Slow down. You go home to an apartment.
But hold up, because not everyone's buying into the hype. Wade Plemons gave a brutally honest assessment that's got the boxing world talking. He pointed out that while Floyd might be smaller and slightly slower than he was in his prime, he's still going to absolutely dominate Mike Tyson in this fight. And here's the reality check: Tyson's health issues are no joke. The man was hospitalized, had serious training setbacks after that Jake Paul exhibition, and was literally limping to the ring in some of his recent appearances. Plemons is basically saying what a lot of boxing insiders are thinking, but won't say publicly. This fight could be genuinely dangerous for Tyson.
Now, Floyd, you know, when you say your name, when they say these fighters' names, they say thousands and millions. When you say Money Mayweather, you say billions.
Here's the kicker, though. Since this is officially an exhibition, it won't affect Floyd's perfect 50-0 record no matter what happens. Floyd knows this, and he's already talking big, saying, "You already know that if I'm going to do something, it's going to be big and legendary." The man has a point. He's made massive profits from exhibitions that barely anyone attended, turning them into financial successes through pure marketing genius. Remember that Logan Paul fight? Most boxing purists hated it, but Floyd walked away with probably $40 million for 8 rounds of glorified sparring. He's mastered the art of turning spectacle into profit, and this Tyson fight is going to be the biggest spectacle yet.
I think that if anybody was to come back, he could come back and be successful.
100%.
I mean, I don't think that, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, and his work ethic, that still hasn't left. So, even though he's older, I think that he still can compete with these guys out here today.
Obviously, it sounds like, first things first, it sounds like he's going to be fighting Mike Tyson in the Congo, I heard.
And here's something nobody's talking about. There's real history between Floyd and Tyson that goes way beyond boxing. These two have been taking verbal shots at each other for years, with Tyson questioning Floyd's place among the all-time greats and Floyd dismissing Tyson as a relic from a different era. That tension is real, and even in an exhibition setting, both men are going to want to prove a point. Clemens admits he's skeptical about whether the fight will satisfy hardcore boxing fans, but he's still planning to cover it because the spectacle and media interest are going to be absolutely massive.
Mayweather is not just coming back for an exhibition. We've seen Floyd going on the exhibition tours, which a lot of former all-time great fighters have done. The Ray Robinsons did it, the Alis did it, Joe Louis did it. It's not out of the question for a fighter to do that. Sometimes you don't want to have to prepare for a mega type of fight with a real threat, but you're making good money. You get to stay close to the game. You're in good enough shape, and you still get to showcase your skills around the world. And that's what Floyd Mayweather has done. Floyd Mayweather said, "I still have what it takes to set more records in the sport of boxing," speaking about his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson.
Now get this. The financial numbers being thrown around for this spring 2026 exhibition are absolutely insane. Both fighters are reportedly getting $50 million each, which explains why they're both suddenly so interested in stepping back into the ring. When you're talking about that kind of money, it becomes pretty clear that this isn't about legacy or competition. It's about capitalizing on two legendary names while they still carry massive commercial value. Las Vegas is the obvious location because it's the fight capital of America, with all the infrastructure needed to handle a global audience of this magnitude. But don't be surprised if other venues start throwing around even bigger offers to host what could be the biggest exhibition in boxing history.
Create a bigger gate, have a bigger global broadcast audience, and generate more money with each event. Floyd says, "I plan on continuing doing these events, and I plan to keep doing it with my global media partner, CSI Sports, Fight Sports." This is Floyd Mayweather making the comment about the Tyson exhibition and then also his desire to continue fighting as a professional fighter, not just a fighter that's fighting.
But wait, it gets even more interesting when you look at the changing landscape of combat sports broadcasting. The UFC is moving away from traditional pay-per-view deals towards streaming platforms, and boxing is trying to figure out how to adapt to these new revenue models. Netflix has been throwing massive money at live sports content, and an event like Floyd versus Tyson would be exactly the kind of global spectacle they'd want to build their sports programming around. The problem is, with $50 million purses for each fighter, they're going to need massive revenue just to break even, which probably means this is still going to be a traditional pay-per-view event with a premium price tag.
Even though he slowed down, even though he's much smaller, is going to run circles around Mike Tyson in this. Mike's going to have real trouble even getting to the fight. If we saw the Jake Paul exhibition, Mike was hospitalized for a bit. Then he had to take a lot of time off from training, had a stomach ulcer, and then again, the limping to the ring. Oh, man. The whole detrimental to his health. It's detrimental to Mike's health to even try to do this. The article keeps going, this fight will be an exhibition, so Mayweather isn't risking his perfect 50-0 record, though he doesn't sound concerned about Tyson in any way. I've been doing this for 30 years, and there hasn't been a single fighter that can tarnish my legacy, Mayweather said. You already know that if I'm going to do something, it's going to be big and it's going to be legendary. Except the last 5 exhibition fights that no one watched and that Floyd still found a way to extort them out of money. I still don't know how he made mills doing those fights.
Here's what's really wild about this whole situation. Both Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson have absolutely nothing left to prove in boxing. Their legacies are completely secure, their places in history are untouchable, and their achievements speak for themselves. Floyd went 50-0 against the best fighters of multiple generations. Tyson became the youngest heavyweight champion ever and was the most feared fighter on the planet. This exhibition isn't about competition or glory, it's purely about capitalizing on global attention and an enormous financial opportunity. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm the best in the business of boxing. This exhibition will give the fans what they want. No, it won't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch this. I don't know about you guys, but the circus show is something that I'm gonna cover here. You may not like it, and trust me, I don't either. But as a spectacle, and it'll be current news if it does actually happen, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm probably gonna clown the shit out of it because at this point, there's nothing else you can really do. I can't take it seriously, especially again after the Jake and Mike fight. I definitely can't. I will say, I mean, Floyd does have experience now doing these exhibitions against bigger guys. He got used to it in the Logan exhibition, so at least there's that. And there is a good bit of bad blood back and forth between Floyd and Mike over the years. There's been some pretty choice words, more from Mike's side than any other side, but he has absolutely on multiple occasions told Floyd off, and well, here's one of them.
He said that he's better than Muhammad Ali. Yep, I'm better than Muhammad.
And get this, boxing expert Chael Sonnen broke down exactly why the term exhibition confuses so many people, especially in America. He traced it back to Floyd's fight in Japan, which was labeled an exhibition but was promoted as a grand spectacle, a once-in-a-lifetime event. American fans expected casual sparring, but the Japanese promoters were selling it as something much bigger. The terminology creates these misunderstandings because exhibitions aren't officially sanctioned, so Floyd's perfect record stays intact no matter what happens. It's genius from a business standpoint, all the hype and money of a real fight, but none of the risk to his legacy.
It's probably ultimately what got Floyd and got Mike to sign next to that X. We're talking about a paycheck that could be upwards of $50 million a piece for these.
No. $50 million a piece here to get in the ring.
That's what I've been told, Mike.
Well, no wonder they're doing this.
Yeah, they're look no further. If you're looking for motivation, look, would they like to punch each other? Probably, but that money doesn't hurt.
No, not at all. And what about location? Do you think it's going to be in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think that's probably the leader in the clubhouse. Obviously, it's in the States, at least, that's the fight capital for us. So I would not be surprised, although they're, for an event like this, that's going to be popular. And I think, for as many people that are excited about it, you probably got enough people, Mike, that also hate it. But I think the bottom line is that people are going to tune in. And with that kind of interest, who knows? We've seen...
Sonnen also pointed out something fascinating about the psychology of these events. He remembered Tyson telling the media that fans had waited their whole lives for certain matchups, but then the actual execution often ends up being a letdown. The anticipation and build-up become bigger than the fight itself. He's already predicting that the Floyd versus Pacquiao rematch at the Sphere is going to be massive and expensive, but he's warning that the supporting fights probably won't match the star power of the main event. And here's the thing. Even boxing insiders like Sonnen, who understand exactly what these exhibitions are, still get emotionally invested because of the history and significance of these legendary names.
Wanted to be involved in fights like this in the past, so I think there are probably other locations, but yeah, ultimately I would probably think that Vegas is the leader in the clubhouse here, although I don't know for sure.
And it's coming at an interesting time, too, because for the sports world of boxing and really fighting for UFC, we were seeing UFC now go away from pay-per-views. How is this going to be really brought together? Do you think they'll go the pay-per-view route?
Yeah, that's a really, it's interesting what's happening, and I think it's a great question. We don't have a definitive answer yet, but that's a fact, Mike, right? That the UFC has historically done these pay-per-view events. That is ending in January. They've got this massive deal with CBS, Paramount, and they're not doing the pay-per-views anymore. We saw speaking of Mike Tyson, when Tyson and Jake Paul fought in November, that was...
So here you have it. The biggest exhibition in boxing history is coming, featuring two legends who have nothing left to prove but everything to gain financially. Floyd Mayweather continues to demonstrate that he's not just a great boxer, but maybe the smartest businessman the sport has ever seen. Mike Tyson gets one more massive payday and a chance to remind the world why he was the most feared man on the planet. And boxing fans get to witness something that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. The real question is whether this represents the future of boxing legends coming back for massive exhibitions that prioritize entertainment and profit over pure competition. Is this evolution or the end of boxing as we know it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if this breakdown helped you understand what's really happening behind the scenes, smash that like button and subscribe, because this is just the beginning of what's going to be an absolutely wild ride. I'll see you in the next one.
Tyson is an icon. All right, Floyd Mayweather, that's debatable, but Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, that's debate. I mean, by now they're probably icons. Mike Tyson, icon versus icon, in an exhibition, F it, you might as well. I want to say this though. If you guys thought Mike Tyson was pulling punches against Jake Paul and that wasn't real, well, he ain't gonna pull no punches against Floyd. Like, that dude has shown that he hated. Remember his fake punch at Floyd?
Legend joining us tonight.
Floyd ain't moved though.
Legend joining us tonight.
But here's something that nobody in the media wants to talk about openly. The elephant in the room that's making veteran boxing trainers and former champions genuinely uncomfortable. We're watching two men who define different eras of boxing put their health and reputations on the line for what is essentially a glorified money grab. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying it because the contrast between what these exhibitions represent and what boxing used to stand for is absolutely staggering. Think about it. Mike Tyson in his prime was knocking out world champions in the first round, ending careers with single punches, making grown men question their life choices just by staring at them during weigh-ins. Floyd Mayweather spent 20 years making the best fighters in the world look like amateurs, solving every puzzle that elite competition could throw at him. Now they're about to face each other in what amounts to a carefully choreographed performance designed to maximize entertainment value while minimizing actual risk.
Great job. Great job. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Look, exhibition, that term has never worked. In fact, that term creates problems in America. That term was first introduced to us in America through Floyd going to Japan, doing a fight in Ryzen, and it was an exhibition. When we all hear about that, we go, well, this is play. This is a spar session. And the Japanese promoter had to come out and go, hey, wait a minute, I think we're a little bit lost in translation here. In Japan, by exhibition, what I'm talking about is, this is a extravaganza. This is a once in a lifetime. This is big event. But apparently that doesn't mean that to you guys. It's like, okay, I can meet you halfway. The problem is, with an exhibition, Floyd's perfect record of 50-0 is not on the line. And whether you want to call that an extravaganza or something else.
And this brings up a fascinating point that boxing historians have been debating privately for months. Are we witnessing the natural evolution of combat sports entertainment, or are we watching the slow death of boxing's competitive integrity? Because here's what's really happening. The line between legitimate competition and sports entertainment is getting blurrier every single day. The Jake Paul phenomenon proved that personality and marketing can generate more revenue than actual boxing skill. The Logan Paul exhibition with Floyd proved that casual fans will pay premium prices to watch spectacle over sport. And now this Tyson versus Floyd exhibition is proving that legendary names can generate massive interest even when everyone knows the outcome is predetermined to some degree. We're basically watching boxing transform into professional wrestling, except the participants are real legends with genuine combat credentials.
Not on the line, what are we doing it for? It's very tough, right? So Floyd has been going around, he's been doing these exhibition matches, and whoever put this together demanded the record is on the line. I remember the night that fight happened, and I remember Mike Tyson specifically came out to the media and he asked a question. His whole statement, his whole interview was actually a question. He said, we waited our whole lives to see that. And Mike really summed it up for all of us. It was a letdown. And if those two are going to go out, I mean, you're talking about Sphere and you're talking about boxing. And that means a couple of things. One, it's going to be a really big and really expensive event. And two, don't think you're going to get a supporting cast as this story unfolds. Like, don't think some killer co-main event's gonna come on. And I kind of got my interest, and my wife and I might go, but I want to see who's opening the card. That's not like that for boxing.
Here's where it gets really interesting from a business perspective. And this is something that most casual fans don't understand about the modern fight game. The traditional boxing model is completely broken for everyone except the absolute biggest stars. Mid-level professional fighters are making poverty wages while risking permanent brain damage. Promising young prospects can't get meaningful television exposure because networks only care about established names with massive social media followings. The whole system has become so top-heavy that exhibitions featuring retired legends generate more interest and revenue than legitimate title fights featuring active world champions. Floyd and Tyson stepping into the ring together isn't just a nostalgic cash grab. It's a symptom of how completely dysfunctional the economics of professional boxing have become. But wait, because there's another layer to this that makes it even more complex. Both Floyd and Tyson have been incredibly smart about protecting their health while maximizing their earning potential. Floyd's exhibition strategy is brilliant. He gets to stay in the spotlight, make massive money, and maintain his physical condition without the grueling training camps and genuine danger that comes with fighting elite active competition. Tyson's approach is different but equally calculated. He's using his legendary status and intimidation factor to generate interest, even though everyone knows he's nowhere near the fighter he was 30 years ago. They're both leveraging their reputations and fan loyalty to create financial opportunities that didn't exist for previous generations of retired champions. It's actually genius when you think about it objectively. And here's something that's going to blow your mind about the global reach of this event. Boxing might be declining in mainstream American sports culture, but internationally, fights featuring legendary American boxers still generate absolutely massive interest. Floyd versus Tyson is going to be huge in the UK, enormous in Mexico, and absolutely gigantic in Asia and the Middle East. The international pay-per-view numbers could be completely insane, especially if they price it right for different markets. We're talking about potentially reaching 1 billion people worldwide who recognize both names and have some emotional connection to their legacies. That's the kind of global audience that makes network executives and streaming platform CEOs start throwing around ridiculous amounts of money. Now here's where the story takes a really interesting turn, because the success of this exhibition is going to determine the future of how retired legends monetize their careers. If Floyd versus Tyson generates the kind of numbers everyone expects, you can bet that other legendary fighters are going to start planning their own comeback exhibitions. Imagine the possibilities. Oscar de la Hoya has been talking about coming back for years. Sugar Ray Leonard is still in decent shape. Hell, even Roy Jones Jr. has been staying active with exhibitions and looked surprisingly good against Tyson in their previous matchup. We could be looking at the beginning of a whole new industry built around legendary fighters having carefully managed comeback fights that prioritize safety and entertainment over legitimate competition. But here's the part that's going to make hardcore boxing fans either love or hate what's happening. The production value of these exhibitions is going to be absolutely off the charts. We're talking about Hollywood-level promotion, celebrity involvement, massive undercard fights, and entertainment segments that go way beyond traditional boxing events. The Sphere venue for the rumored Pacquiao rematch would allow for visual effects and immersive experiences that have never been possible at a boxing match. They're essentially creating a new category of sports entertainment that combines the authenticity of real champions with the production values of major entertainment events. It's either the future of combat sports or the death of traditional boxing, depending on your perspective. And get this, the training footage and behind-the-scenes content leading up to this fight is going to be a massive revenue stream all by itself. Every workout video, every interview, every social media post featuring Floyd or Tyson generates millions of views and significant advertising revenue. They're basically creating a months-long reality show documenting two legends preparing for one final showdown. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and other streaming platforms are probably bidding against each other right now for exclusive documentary rights. The actual fight might only last 8 rounds, but the content creation and media opportunities surrounding it could generate revenue for years. Here's something that boxing analysts are just starting to understand about the psychology of these exhibitions. Casual fans aren't watching because they expect competitive fights. They're watching because they want to see their childhood heroes one more time. There's genuine nostalgia and emotional attachment involved that goes way beyond normal sporting interest. For millions of people, Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson represent specific moments in their lives, specific memories of watching boxing with family or friends, specific feelings of excitement and anticipation that they haven't experienced in years. The exhibition format allows them to relive those emotions without the genuine anxiety and concern that comes with watching active fighters put their careers and health on the line. But now we need to address the elephant in the room that everyone's thinking about but nobody wants to discuss openly. What happens if this exhibition goes wrong? Mike Tyson is 58 years old with documented health issues. Floyd Mayweather is 47 and hasn't been in a real fight in years. Even in a controlled exhibition environment, boxing is an inherently dangerous sport where serious injuries can happen in seconds. The legal liability, insurance complications, and potential public relations nightmare if either fighter gets seriously hurt could be absolutely massive. That's probably why both camps are being extremely careful about how they structure the rules, the length of rounds, and the level of contact that's going to be allowed. This has to look real enough to satisfy fans while being safe enough to protect two aging legends. And here's the final piece of the puzzle that explains why this exhibition is happening now instead of 5 years ago or 5 years from now. The current state of heavyweight boxing is absolutely perfect for maximizing Tyson's nostalgic appeal. The division is dominated by foreign fighters that American casual fans don't really connect with emotionally. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, and Anthony Joshua are all legitimate world-class heavyweights, but they don't have the cultural impact or mainstream recognition that Mike Tyson still carries decades after his retirement. American boxing fans are hungry for heavyweight stars they can emotionally invest in, and Mike Tyson stepping back into the ring, even in an exhibition format, fills that void perfectly. Combined with Floyd's unmatched ability to generate interest and controversy, you have the perfect storm for a massive global event that transcends normal boxing audiences and becomes a genuine cultural phenomenon.